You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, pet parents. Welcome. This is Michelle Fern, host of Best Bets for Pets. I have a little bit of a different type of show for you today. Normally we talk about our, just things that are exclusively for our fur babies. Today, it's for your fur babies, but it's for you too. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Petco, where the pets go. Petco, where the pets go.
Pet Life Radio has tail-wagging, fur-flying, fabulous deals for our listeners from Petco. Get $6 off your order of $60 or more and up to 40% off the entire Petco site. That's right, but that's not all. Because you're a Pet Life Radio listener, you'll also get free shipping on your order of $49 or more. $6 off, up to 40% off, and free shipping from Pet Life Radio and Petco. To get these awesome deals, go to PetcoDeals.com. That's PetcoDeals.com.
Petco, where the pets go.
I'm not much of a reader, but I do wish I were more well-read.
There are so many great books coming out. I wish I could find a way to keep up.
Audible.com makes it easy to stay well informed and catch up on your reading simply by listening. Audiobooks from Audible turn downtime into uptime. You'll be more productive and become well read.
Now I'm able to catch up on all the great books I've been wanting to read.
With Audible, I feel smarter.
Pet Life Radio listeners, try Audible.com now and get your first 30 days of Audible Listener Gold membership plan free. And get a free audiobook. Choose from over 100,000 titles. To get this great deal, go to audibledeals.com. That's audibledeals.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. I'd like to introduce my guest today, Olivia Raya Ourahou. Olivia is the customer care team lead for Rabbit Air. Welcome, Olivia.
Hi, thank you for having me on your show.
Thanks for being here. Now, I told, our listeners a little bit. We're going to talk today about Rabbit Air, and Rabbit Air has air purifiers, which could benefit our pets, but they benefit us too a lot. Can you tell our listeners, what exactly is an air purifier?
All right, great. So an air purifier is basically a machine. It's an appliance that you can place in your home or office or any type of personal living space, and it has a total of a certain amount of filters inside as far as its technology. So with that technology, the air purifier pretty much pulls in all of the air inside your living space, and with that air, it traps in various amounts of pollutants, different types of allergens. It can be dust, pollen, mold, and dander, of course, and of course, pet hair.
Now, I mentioned that it benefits the pet parents a little bit more than the pets. I don't know if we're more sensitive to dust and hair than our pets, and dander maybe than our pets are. Is there any truth to that? It feels like I'm more sensitive than my pets are, but maybe that's just what I'm assuming.
Well, it really depends. Sometimes it's the owner, it's ourselves that are more sensitive to the various allergens in the air. We can be very sensitive to our pet's hair. If someone has a bird, be sensitive to the powder or the dander that they have or the feathers. Or sometimes it's the other way around. We actually have, a lot of our customers have different kinds of pets, dogs, cats, birds, and so on. And sometimes they're not buying it for themselves, they're actually buying it for their pet. So that's actually very common, but both can benefit from the air purifier. Everyone can benefit from clean air. Actually, the EPA indicates that the air in your home is 2 to 5 times higher than the outside. So whether you have a pet or not, this can really benefit you.
That's interesting. I mean, when you say that, I think of maybe it's higher because the air is in a contained environment versus, outside being so much, it's outside, it's larger, it's the universe.
Right.
And the air in your home is just more confined and, maybe that has something to do with it. I tried your air purifier and I know that there was a big difference in like how I felt waking up as far as stuffiness goes. When people buy an air purifier, what are some of the benefits that they can hope to achieve? Like, how do they know if it's working for them?
All right, this is a great question, and we do get this a lot. There's a few different ways. Now, if you have a pet, let's say you have a dog. Now, typically there's a lot of pet hair floating about, also the pet dander. So if you yourself do not have allergies, yet you have a dog, you'll notice that, your furniture will start to have less hair on there, or, you may not have to vacuum as often. When a light is shining through, you see all the little dust particles floating in the air, the light coming through the window. You will start to see less of that going on. Also, you can just check the air purifier itself. There are filters in there. You will see all of that build up, all the dust bunnies, the hair. You may even find a human hair on there sometimes. So if you didn't have that air purifier, you would be breathing all of that in. I mean, personally myself, I'm not an allergy sufferer. I do run our air purifiers, and trust me, if I'm away for the weekend and I do not have the air purifier in there, I can notice a difference. I can really notice a difference from that.
We're talking about the air purifiers, and before we get into the various types of air purifiers and how do you know what's the right one for you, the name of the company, Rabbit Air, is so cute, and it's kind of whimsical. Where did the name come from?
It is actually, well, it's sort of funny. It didn't happen, it actually sort of happened by accident. The owners, when they were looking to register a name, actually a domain name online, they had to figure out a name within about a day or two. So they were thinking, Rapid Air was something that they thought of. But turns out the domain name was taken. So what sounds close to rapid? Rabbit. And they thought, they think of white bunnies. White bunnies are clean. So they thought it would be really cute and whimsical. And they went ahead and went with it. The domain name wasn't taken, and they felt that it was very unique. So people can actually remember Rabbit Air rather than Rapid Air.
That is cute, and that's exactly when you say it. It does sound like rapid.
Right.
But I thought that's an interesting name. I wonder what rabbits have to do with air purifiers. And so, but that's just sign of the times, getting a company name for the internet versus the internet suiting, your company name. It's just how it is these days. So say they decide to buy, invest and buy an air purifier because they're a little bit of investment. They're not, super inexpensive. I mean, but it's for definitely your health, and for the long-term benefits and short-term benefits, they're definitely worth the price of them. How do you know what's the right type to get for you?
All right, so we have two different models that we recommend, but going aside from that, you really want to, first decide why you're buying an air purifier. So you're either going to be someone who's typically an allergy sufferer or non-allergy sufferer. Go with, a model that's going to have more layers of filtration. If you're a non-allergy sufferer, you may want to go with something a little bit more basic. Yes, they are an investment. They are expensive, but you want to choose something that, the filters are going to last a long time. We use HEPA filtration in our air purifiers, and they actually last longer than a lot of the other companies out there. You know how typically when you buy a printer and, the printer, is very inexpensive, and then when it comes to buying the ink, then you really, break the pocketbook. Well, it's sort of opposite with us. The main air purifier itself is expensive, but when you do buy the replacement filters, it's actually not very expensive. Also, you want to get something that it doesn't consume a lot of energy. So with our air purifiers, one of them is Energy Star, but both consume very little energy. You want something that's quiet. You don't want a very loud air purifier because most of our customers, are allergy sufferers, and so they need this at night. So if you have this machine in your room and it's keeping you up, you're not really going to get any rest. So that's something else you definitely want to look at. The number one thing I would say with looking at any type of product would be the customer service. So that's one thing that differentiates a Rabbit Air from any other brand. We're actually the only air purifier company that is happy to help 24 hours a day. So anytime anyone has any advice, they can always give us a call.
That's great information. Now, I'm going to talk about the air purifier I used. I am an allergy sufferer. You name it, I'm allergic. Dust. I don't let anything stop me. I just deal with it. I have 2 dogs and a cat, so there's hair. One's long hair, and he's just sheds all over the place. So there's hair, there's some dust, there's cat dander, dog dander. I don't know what other kind of dander. There's just, as much as you clean, and I have fantastic vacuums. They're great at getting everything, but I can't have them running 24/7. So there's always, something in the air. And as I, used it, I thought, I wonder how I'll know if it works or not. And I wonder if I could tell a difference. And I was surprised I did, and pretty fast after I started using it, because I noticed a lot less being stuffed up, when I woke up, and it's just breathing easier. And it's the time of year when there's a lot of humidity, it's hot out, and usually it's worse for allergies just because the air is moister. It just, it's not as dry, so it seems like there's more stuff around, if that makes sense. But I noticed a big difference in, breathing easier and not having that stuffed up feeling when you first wake up. Now, is that something common that people tell you as far as, when you hear back from allergy sufferers?
Yes, and I'm glad, our air purifier is really working out for you. Yes, definitely. I had one case actually where a medical doctor, he tried everything to clean the air in his home, and he had 2 beautiful dogs. And he says, you know what, I'm actually sleeping in a tent at night outside in my backyard. I thought that was a little odd, but he says, trust me, I love my dogs to death. I'm not getting rid of them, but I need to sleep. So he got our air purifier and he called back so ecstatic. He was so happy that, he could now sleep in his home comfortably and have his dogs. But, that's one extreme case, but really we have feedback like this all of the time. Even those who were just minimal allergy sufferers just want something to help them out a little bit. They call back and, they're so happy that they feel like they can have a sort of a normal life again and a comfortable sleep. I know that's very important to everyone.
It makes a big difference. Where can our listeners find Rabbit Air Purifiers?
Our listeners can find Rabbit Air at www.rabbitair.com. And like I said, we are available 24 hours a day, whether giving us a call, you can email, we have a live chat. So we're always very happy to help.
Once our listeners get to your site, how would they know which filters to purchase, which air purifiers to purchase? Can you give them a little bit of an idea while we're talking about them?
Yes, we have lots of tools on our website. As mentioned, we have 2 different models, one for minimal allergy sufferers or non-allergy sufferers, and then we have one for more of severe allergy sufferers, which is our -A2 air purifier. What's great about this air purifier, it has a customizable filter option, one of them being a pet allergy customized filter. And that one really helps with the dander, even pet odors as well. If you have a cat, like myself, people won't even know that you have a cat in your home when they come over because, no litter box smell. So, that can really freshen up the home as well. So we have those 2 air purifiers. We even have an Artist Series line. And the thing about our air purifiers is they're very stylish. So, if you're going to buy a machine for your home, sometimes they're a little bit bulky. You kind of want to hide them. But with our air purifiers, you actually may want to show them off. So we have a lot of tools online to choose. If not, like I said, you can call our toll-free number, and there's always a consultant waiting by, and we will spend the time with you, whether it's 5 minutes or 2 hours. We're there to help you make the right decision.
That's great. That's great also that if someone is not sure what type to buy or if there's another, the size option and that sort of thing, that there's someone there that can help them. Olivia, I know that there's other air purifiers out there, but I know Rabbit Air sets itself apart, based on customer service and that sort of thing. Can you let our listeners know a little bit more about that?
Yes. Now, Rabbit Air, we really pride ourselves on the service that we provide for our customers. Not only are we the best in the air purifier industry, but I'd say we are up there with other companies, even such as the Ritz-Carlton, let's say, in terms of providing service for a customer. That's why we're there 24 hours a day. We're very lenient, with all of our customers, regardless of, any issues that may occur. We're there to take that as an opportunity and fix that. So with Rabbit Air, if you ever look online to find our reviews, you will know, that is one of the top rated options, for the air purifiers, that we are the best in service.
Now, is there a warranty available with the air purifiers as well?
Yes, we have a 5-year warranty for air purifiers, and also we have a 90-day money-back guarantee. If for any reason, you buy the air purifier and you feel like, it's just not working for me, then you have full 90 days to return the air purifier for a full refund. That's how we stand behind our product.
That's great. And it's great that there's something that it's not that big and cumbersome. It's like you said, it's nice looking and it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it does so much. One thing I think people might be inquiring about, how big of a space can you use an air purifier in? So, is it just like one per room, one per bedroom, or one per living room area?
All right, so that's a really good question, and that's a very common question that our customers ask. So we give coverage area based on an allergy sufferer or a non-allergy sufferer. A non-allergy sufferer, can benefit from a larger room coverage. Let's say, for example, one of our -A2 air purifiers can cover up to 815 square feet. That is for a non-allergy sufferer. Now, someone who has allergies needs cleaner air, so they should place it in a room about half that size, so about 408 square feet. So depending on the room size, we can recommend different models. Also, they're room air purifiers, so, if you place it in a bedroom, it's not necessarily going to clean another room in the house, but you can kind of fix that a little by, placing it near a doorway, or you can move the air purifier from room to room. All of our air purifiers are under 20 pounds and have a built-in handle, so they're easy to move around, which is very common what our customers do because, they are a little pricey. So sometimes, we don't like to pressure our customers into, necessarily buying multiple air purifiers.
Okay, well, that's good to know as far as, I guess, the more intense you need it, the smaller the space is.
Right.
Well, that's some great information. Now, can you let our listeners know again where they could find Rabbit Air?
Yes, and you can find Rabbit Air at www.rabbitair.com.
Great. Thank you so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling our listeners about Rabbit Air purifiers. Listeners, this is a great investment in yourself, your health, your animal's health. As Olivia was saying, it's good for allergy sufferers, but if we have pets, there's dander, there's fur, there's stuff that comes out from the dog's fur, the cat's fur that we don't know about. And this is so good for your, body to breathe cleaner air. You can find more information on the episode page of this segment as well on PetLifeRadio.com. And Olivia, thanks so much again for coming on.
Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with another great show.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Introducing the new Bret Michaels Pets Rock collection exclusively at PetSmart. I created it for the pets that rock your world.
Shop the Bret Michaels Pets Rock collection and celebrate PetSmart's 25th anniversary with up to 25% off thousands of items on the PetSmart site. Plus free shipping on orders of $49 or more. Go to PetSmartDeal.com. That's PetSmartDeal.com. PetSmartDeal.com.
Dyson.
The new Dyson Animal Vacs are powerful bagless upright vacuums for homes with pets. Air muscle and radio root cyclone technology generates the strongest suction power to powerfully remove dust, dirt, and pet hair from the home or car. To order your Dyson Animal Vac, go to DysonDeals.com. DysonDeals.com to order your Dyson Animal Vac today.
Dyson. Music to your ears.
How would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience? We have a brand new trademark concept called InfoSeeds. InfoSeeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service. Is the best, most cost-effective way to invite us in. We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit the website
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information. There you can listen to a sample of InfoSeed. Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
Your groomer is gonna hate me. Hi, I'm Allie McLennan. Join me for my Pet Life radio show, Groom for Improvement. You're gonna save time and money with these tips from my New York City grooming table. From product recommendations to do's and don'ts, I am gonna hook you up. So just do me a favor and don't mention this to your groomer. Groom for Improvement on Pet Life Radio.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is something very important for anyone with a pet. First aid, your pet's injured. What do you have to have on hand? What should you have on hand? I'd like to introduce you to Bob Brennan. He is the director at Dr. Emmo Pet First Aid, which is a division of PetClenz. Welcome, Bob.
Oh, Michelle, happy to be here. Glad you invited me.
Glad to have you. Now, first, let's talk about PetClenz. What kind of products does PetClenz have?
Well, PetClenz is manufacturing first aid-based products under the brand name of Dr. Emmo's Pet First Aid. It's kind of our manufacturing branch. So anything that we have under the PetClenz umbrella goes into the Dr. Emmo Pet First Aid titles.
I like that name, Dr. Emmo. Is there Dr. Emmo?
It's a fictitious name, but our chief engineer who designed and was involved in some of the product development, his name was Emmett, so we kind of shortened up his name, and that's his nickname, so it kind of fit. And it's kind of catchy, too. I think once you hear Dr. Emmo, I think you're going to remember that name a little bit, especially after you try it and use it and it's successful with your pet needs. That'll be around for a while.
Yeah, it is a cute name. Now, what kind of products does Dr. Emmo have?
Well, right now, we started out with the core products, essential first aid products, and that would be a antimicrobial, non-toxic, natural wound wash, which is applied with almost kind of a, let's say, a subtle power washer applicator that we engaged on our 8-ounce bottle. And that kills the bacteria, it debrides the wound, cleans it, and gets it ready for part 2 of that, which is our antimicrobial non-toxic spray gel, which adheres to the wound and will help and aid protect the wound and also aid in the healing process by keeping it moist.
We talk about first aid, and obviously first aid, that's necessary when an injury happens, and you never really know when an injury might happen. What kind of things should pet owners have on hand just in case their pet's injured? Because it doesn't make sense to me to think of, oh, I'm going to wait till my pet's injured, then go run out and get something. If your pet's at the dog park or is out there, just out on the streets, any place, dog or cat, like they can get injured at home too. There's certain things I think that you should have on hand all the time.
It's a situation which is more reactionary. In other words, okay, I've got a medicine chest full of product for my kids. I mean, I got Sporn for myself, this, that, and the other thing. Vaccine, whatever you want to call it. But, and they're loaded. For pet owners, I think it's important to have these type of products and be proactive with the situation. Because as you said, I mean, nothing can be prevented. I mean, dogs, cats, small animals, they run around, they play, they can get nicked on a cage, a fence. A cat can swipe a dog and catch it on the ear or near the eye, and next thing you know, you have a little cut, right, which lends itself to infections.
From what you're saying, it definitely makes sense to be more important to be proactive rather than reactive. We are that for ourselves. We're like that for our kids. We should be for our fur kids, too, have certain things on hand. Now, does Dr. Emmo have a first aid kit, or can you maybe make your own first aid kit with Dr. Emmo products? You
can begin the process of starting your own first aid kit, which is important. There are essentials you should have: scissors, tweezers, if there's a paper piece of plastic gets stuck, gauze, obviously, wrap, and, there's other things that are basics that are also found in a human first aid kit. But it's funny you said that, because I'm kind of formalizing in my mind what my first aid kit's going to look like, because Dr. Emmo is in the process of putting together what we'd like to call our basics first aid kit, just essentials that the pet parent would need in case of an injury or accident, so that they are prepared.
That's a great idea. Which of the Dr. Emmo products would be included in this basic kit?
What the kit is going to look like, and because it's going to happen, it's going to be 2 small 2-ounce bottles of the wash and the gel. It's going to include a wrap. It's going to include a tongue depressor. It's going to include tweezers, small scissors, obviously rubber gloves, so no infections occur, and you can treat the wound properly. Q-tips, that type of thing, just to keep the wound or anything that happens. You'll have everything at the ready for you in our first aid kit.
That sounds like a great idea. When is that going to be available?
We're going to be launching that, or should have it available the end of September and October, fall.
Okay, so just in a few months it'll be available. Wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like the basic thing for first aid is to be able to have, the right antibacterial product to clean the wound, and then something so that no thing gets into the wound.
Right, and I don't mean to correct you, but not antibacterial, antimicrobial.
Ah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And the importance of the difference of that is what?
Because there's a lot of resistant strains to antibacterial substances, okay? So like MRSA, staph, all these are becoming resistant to antibiotics. On our antimicrobial side, we kill those germs, okay? So that, in essence, is the difference, okay? Because of the strains of certain bacteria develop a resistance to antibacterial type of products. I hope that makes sense.
No, that does. That makes perfect sense. Also, the Dr. Emmo products, you can't just put any type of antimicrobial product on your pet. They have to be, because pets lick.
No, it's another great segue you have for me. My product, or the product that we have in the Dr. Emmo line, is safe to lick. It's safe around the eyes, because obviously pets are going to lick their wounds. You can wrap it up, but it's safe to lick. And what happens is, after our product adheres to the wound, it breaks down to its original stage, which is water. So that's why it makes it safe to lick. So it's safe around the eyes, around the ears. And the other essential product that we have in the Dr. Emmo's line is the ear care line. Although it's not a first aid issue necessarily, it is a weekly maintenance job that should be done by the pet parent to ensure ear cleanliness and lack of infection, or to deter infection. Because 2 leading reasons why pets in general go to the vet is the ear situation and also the dental situation.
Now, do you have something for dental as well?
That's going to be coming to your theater soon.
One dog that I had, she was so good with cleaning the teeth. Now, he just doesn't like it. He doesn't like anything in his mouth, and it's a big battle.
Right. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it a hands-free applicator. It's almost going to be like, one of these jet streams that we can almost blast the plaque away and just clean the mouth in general and kill the bacteria in the mouth. And it also give them a gum treatment at the same time. So we're working on the applicator for that. But, a few squirts around the gum area and around the teeth area. And that's what we're looking to come up with. And we've got a few prototypes that we're working on. So we'll see which one works best in a test environment and get that out there as well.
That sounds interesting. Now, do you have a tester at home that tries all these products from the Dr. Emmo line?
Oh, yeah. His name is Cooper, and the other one's name is Coco. A Newfoundland who has hot spots all the time, and I'm treating him with Dr. Emmo's, and it works great. And Coco, who's a little active and gets nicked up once in a while, and she gets treated with the Dr. Emmo line too. So I have my own 2 hounds that I take care of with the Dr. Emmo products.
Oh, that's great. We talked about this in the beginning of the show, that being National Pet First Aid Month. Is there anything special that Dr. Emmo is doing for Pet First Aid Month?
Yeah, we're engaging a lot of bloggers, pet sitters to get involved in the first aid movement, because we like to see this as a grassroots movement. In other words, educating the pet parent from people they trust. Your vets, your pet sitters, your dog walkers, these type of individuals. So we're trying to make them aware through certain blog situations, certain radio shows like yourselves. Not as good as yours, by the way, but some other broadcasts that may be out there that we'll be able to deliver the message. So from Dr. Emmo's standpoint, it is a ground level development of the word and awareness.
And that's the key, awareness. When I've had experience with Pet First Aid, and I generally, when I have a kit in my car, and, it has the products that you're talking about as far as, for wound care and then gauze and so forth. And the thing that, from what I learned, that's so important about it is sometimes you can, from a very minor wound, this will be enough to take care of it. And the sooner that you're able to keep all the bacteria and germs away, the more likely you're not going to have infection. Because I've seen dogs that don't get treated, and it's painful for the dog or cat, and then it grows into a much bigger problem and a much bigger vet bill.
It gets nasty, okay? You're absolutely right. And that's what, we're not trying to, if it's a traumatic injury, obviously you want to get into to your local vet or your vet of choice, ASAP. But when it comes to nicks, scrapes, bumps, and bruises, just like, your children, let's evaluate it first, see what we need to do. But the key is to prevent infection. The key is to prevent infection. You got to maintain these wounds to make sure that it doesn't develop, as you just mentioned, into something much, much worse, which could very easily do. And that's the key.
Yeah, especially I think for pets, because they're more likely to bite and nibble, and they have their own germs.
Right. And they need us as pet parents to take care of those things because, as opposed to us standing up and maybe looking at a mirror and seeing a spot that we can't reach, or, we can have somebody else do it. We have to do that for our own pets. We have to take care of them. So it's very simple.
So now, where can our pet parents find Dr. Emmo products?
We've just launched our line. We're starting to gain traction, like I said, in our grassroots development and awareness program. But you can find Dr. Emmo. Well, number one, you can check out our website at www.PetClenz. That's PetClenz.com. We're also available on various stores. You just have to check and ask, through distribution centers, and also on .com sites. We're available on Dr. Foster & Smith, VetDepot.com, onlinepetdepot.com. So we're out there. I think the easiest way to find us is just Google us, and you'll have your choice of where you can get it, if it's not near you already.
Thank you so much, Bob, for being on Best Bets for Pets and telling our listeners all about Dr. Emmo.
My pleasure. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I could talk about this stuff all day, so I'm glad you cut me off.
Thanks, Bob, for being on Best Bets for Pets and telling our listeners all about Dr. Emmo and PetClenz. Listeners, you can find more information on the episode page of this segment. I'd also like to thank my crew, Nikki, Dennis, and Mr. Zeus, for trying out Dr. Emmo, and they really liked it. They licked it, didn't bother them. They loved it, didn't bother them at all, and it was very successful in treating a little bruise that one of the crew had, gave to another one of the crew. I won't get into details there, but sometimes, boys will be boys. That's all I'll say. And thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me sound great. We so appreciate all of you listeners for taking time to hear about products on Best Bets for Pets. You can find out more about Best Bets for Pets products on PetLifeRadio.com, also available on iTunes. And if you have any questions or suggestions, please email me at michelle@PetLifeRadio.com. Thank you.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.